You are now in the host queue. Latino Rebels Radio, Latino Rebels Radio. This is live Sunday, October 16th, 2016, Political Arena Julito 77, 10 p.m. on the East Coast, which means that you're listening to Latino Rebels live on Blog Talk Radio. And if you're not listening to Latino Rebels live on Blog Talk Radio, you're listening to the podcast on Audio Boom, 10 p.m. live on the East Coast, which means only one thing. 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Gadito, how are you?
West Coasting. What's up, Julio? West Coasting. You know, it was so good because I was out on the East Coast for the summer, so I'm kind of glad to be back in my SoCal rhythm out here representing. What's up?
you kind of gone back to your California roots.
Yeah, I'm going back to my Cali roots.
Yeah, you had a great weekend too. I saw you all over the Rebels. You were at the Rise Up concert. What just up?
Yeah. It was in the concert. It was Louis Jones and Fusion hosted a concert. Rise Up at 1, and it was right on the U.S. Mexico border for San Diego and Tijuana. And they basically had every major Latin artist there, from Residente to Los Tigres del Norte, Alejandro Sanz, Mila Down. So yeah, it was really cool. It was a televised concert, basically just bringing awareness and amplifying Latino voices. Only 3 weeks away from the election. So yeah, it was cool. I was hanging out there and just being a little media guru in the media tent.
Yeah, no, you were all over with it. Yeah, no. If you want to see what Therese posted and reported, just go on Instagram, Latino Rebels, also on Facebook, Latino Rebels, and it's a perfect segue. When you just said about 3 weeks left until the election.
Yeah.
I thought our producer Christian's in Peru right now, which is awesome. I'm seeing some of me.
Yeah, I love Peru.
Photos of Peru. But I thought it would be a good time to just talk to someone who has been either following the election or been involved in the election. So we're lucky to have Eddie Viola, who was part of the Bernie Sanders campaign, on to be on in any minute. And she's now back in D.C. working at Our Revolution, which is sort of like, what people in the Bernie Sanders campaign. She'll explain what she's doing. But I thought it'd be good to bring someone like Edna on, Shuddy, to kind of put, see what the state of politics in the presidential election are, specifically with them. Because I think not a lot of people are having that conversation. I think they're talking about, Tim Kaine speaking Spanish, Donald Trump doesn't like Mexicans, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I just thought it would be good to just kind of look at this from a bird's eye view in the last
Right.
So I just thought, what smart people do we know? And we know a lot of smart people. And we know a lot right now. Yeah, we're not as smart as Eddie Viola. How are you, Eddie? You're on.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't agree exactly with that, but I'm really glad to be here. And
our mom's great as well. Our guests are always be gracious to your guests. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to dive right in. I want to look at this election 2016. I mean, you have been, I'm going to call you a political veteran, an activist, organizer, kind of moving into the national spotlight. So look at this from a bird's eye perspective regarding Latinos. What has happened in the last year that you think has been good? And then as a flip side to that, what has happened in the last year regarding Latinos in presidential politics that you think needs vast improvement or it's just people have just dropped the ball on? So it's sort of like, let's start this conversation. So go for it.
Yeah, no, of course. So, I mean, it's been an interesting election, and, I think all of us, I don't know if all of us, but I think a lot of us just can't wait for this to be be over. But I think there's a lot of lessons that have come out of this, and I think from my experience with the Bernie Sanders campaign, one of the biggest lessons that I got from the Latino community was really this generational. I feel like, I don't know if I want to say divide, or it's just a sort of a generational difference right now between our Latino community, right? And just the way in which the Bernie campaign was able to appeal so much to young Latinos, the Latino millennials, and the way in which the Hillary campaign was able to appeal so much to the older generation. I mean, a lot of the polls that ended up, coming up in states like California, which is, predominantly Latino, would show, they had at probably 70% approval for Latinos over 40. They had Bernie exactly the opposite, 70% approval. The people saying that they were going to vote for him if they were under 40. And so, it was really, I guess, amazing for me to see that there is sort of like a shift that is happening with the younger generation of Latino voters, but also the fact that we're growing. I mean, the biggest number of people right now are turning 18, that are able to vote are Latinos, or at least, that are going to be voting in the Latino community are going to be millennials. And so we have to look at that. We have to see how we're going to be able to appeal to folks like myself and others who are millennial who are going to be very important for future elections. Now, I think that since after the primaries, when Hillary took over the candidacy for the Democratic Party, how hard has it been to convince Bernie Sanders supporters and voters to vote for Hillary? Because that's what Bernie Sanders has been endorsing. But how has that been? What's that been like? What are they saying? Yeah. I mean, it's been tough. I think, the reality is that a lot of the people who followed Bernie, I think, it was a lot of his message and his appeal, right? He's the type of person who a lot of people thought he was, they trusted him and they really liked the message that he was driving, but also the fact that he was independent, also the fact that he was very critical of the Democratic Party, the establishment. A lot of the folks who started following him really believe that, and I think for us right now, the younger folks, a lot of the millennials too, right, are having very critical of Hillary Clinton, and we're trying to figure out a way to make sure that Trump does lose. At least I am very concerned that he would win. I definitely do not want him to win. But at the same time, we have things like, the emails being released on the day of the convention. We have now, tons of emails still being released. You're going back to the WikiLeaks of the DNC, right? Because it's scandals happening right now. Yeah, you're referring to. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. The word email is kind of like a big thing in the presidential election. I know. Like, where's the email hack? Yeah. Which one of them? No, I mean, I'm talking about, a lot of the emails that showed what was being discussed in the DNC and, now with the Hillary campaign. And it's hard to see that. It's really hard to see a lot of the things that went wrong during the primary, a lot of the things that we don't like to hear. I mean, we saw, one of the comments on Podesta about needy Latinos, and there have been comments about the African American community, a lot of our surrogates, about Bernie. And it's tough to see that, right? And I think a lot of the people that follow Bernie right now are reading those emails, and they're getting upset or angry. But at the same time, we need to figure out a way that we can make sure that they, a lot of our folks go out and vote, make sure that Trump doesn't win, but at the same time be ready, right? Be ready after the election to hold those folks accountable, and the world doesn't end after the election. There's a lot of things that we need to continue to do, and we need to be ready for it.
Right. So the question I ask a lot of people in the circles is, do you think Latino voters, and you look at the polls, and it's obvious that Hillary Clinton is she has a commanding lead with Latinos. over Trump. I mean, every poll right now, I mean, I'm actually thinking that Trump might not even get 50% of the, he needs 1/5 of the Latino vote, which would make it historic. But my question is, you being out there, you being involved in the last year, talking to people and kind of putting aside just being, Erica and Yola out on the ground talking to Latinos, because that's what you were doing, and just getting a sense of, what's going on in the Democratic Party. Is the sense that people are voting against Trump as opposed to voting for Clinton? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's of course all kinds of sentiments, and I sort of come from the majority of my circle of friends. The majority of the people that I am very in touch with are usually a little more left, sort of of course Bernie followers and whatnot. And I think a lot of their it's more fear. They feel like we don't vote, and what's going to happen? We're going to have someone like Trump. But at the same time, I do feel like there should be a lot more motivation to go and vote. I'm just concerned that a lot of it has been relying on the fact that Trump is there. In terms of the Hillary campaign, the DNC, a lot of folks just keep on having this message of like, oh my God, you have to vote because of Trump, because of Trump, because of Trump. There's a lot of folks, especially millennials and younger folks, who really also want to hear, what is he going to offer? What is a positive message also that is being driven here? And one of the things that that Bernie did very well was keeping a lot of it positive, right? Like the things that he was going to do, talking about the issues, talking about the problems the community was facing. We try to do that as much as possible, and he really wanted to keep the focus on the progress, right, that we were going to make if he was elected. Now, I also want to hear also about that, right? Like, what is Clinton going to do on the different issues that the young people care about, young Latinos? And not just about Trump being there, because we don't know, a lot of us know he's horrible, but what is going to motivate our community to really go out and vote and make sure that they're showing up to the poll? So, Erika, I mean, Bernie Sanders has been definitely saying that his platform has been implemented into the party's platform. But, like, I guess my question is, number one, like, so what has Bernie thought so far? Because you were on the campaign. Like, what are Bernie's, what's Bernie thinking of, the debates right now? It's just, I mean, what has he been up to? Like, how I'm kind of wondering, like, he's still in, like,
play soccer with Erica.
Playing soccer, you look at me, he's watching the debates, like, what the hell is this circus about, right? I'm just kind of curious, like, but he's chilling. Well, and not just that, but also, like, what are your thoughts about the fact that so far we've had 2 debates and no one's asked about the wall? The wall. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we debate sensitive. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, well, for your first question, bring up the senators really, he has been campaigning right now for Hillary. It's one of the things that he said since the beginning when he ran, if he was to lose, he was going to make sure that he was supporting the person who was going to run in the Democratic Party. That's exactly what he's doing. I think majority or most of it, because he also wants to make sure that Trump is defeated. But one of the other very important things that he's doing, and exactly what the reason why we created a revolution, right after the campaign was over, was to make sure that we were also electing down the ballot candidates. I think for me, it's not only going to, the Latino community or, in general voters are saying, you have to go vote because Trump and Hillary are on the ballot. You also have to really encourage people to go out and vote and get them to vote for, people at the local level that are really progressive, that are really appealing to their values. And Bernie right now is doing a lot of those visits into different states, something for candidates at the local level, for candidates that are running for the House, for the Senate, and even for some who are running literally for, state Senate or school board. And spreading the message, right, that we need to also make sure that we are going at the local level and at the federal level, making sure that we're shifting the power to people who are really following a lot of the message that Bernie put out there. So that's part of what he's doing, but also he's about to release his book, also called Our Revolution. So he spends most of his time after the campaign writing this book. He's going to be talking a lot about what, from his experience as a presidential candidate, and what's going to be coming afterwards, which is, again, what I was saying before, it's going to be a lot of accountability. And he did push the agenda. Now we got to make sure that, we are sort of redeeming, right, the everything that he's doing. It's going to have to happen.
So, just a couple more questions there. So thank you for your time. I'm talking to Erika Ndiola. As far as the Bernie Sanders campaign is now in DC working at Our Revolution, she gets a plug for Senator Sanders' book. Very, very spoken like a true member, a former member of the campaign. Always plug your boss. I have two questions. One is specifically with Arizona. What's your sense going out there? I think you probably went back. And is it a purple state? Is this a solution of like, are Latinos going to be showing up more than ever? Is it Joe Arpaio? He's probably could be in jail right now. Just what's your sense out there? You follow. I mean, you are a native daughter of Arizona. That's where you kind of earned your political strike. What's the sense about that? And then I have a follow up. But how's it feeling out there in Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of recent polls that have been like Arizona is shifting little by little. I'm hoping that we continue in that direction. We're a 30% Latino state, and I think for me, if we can really empower folks to take that power and shift the state into something more positive to our community, we need to continue to do that. But this race, at least this election, the highlight of the entire, at least in Maricopa, is Victory Arpaio. That's one of the biggest challenges that we have had for many years, and we have not been able to defeat him. But there's many polls that have come out that there's more than 70% of people have said they have a negative impression of Arpaio because of everything that has happened. So we have a huge opportunity, and I think it's also making sure that our people understand, like I was saying before, that local elections matter a lot. It's not only about Hillary and Trump. It's really about also your sheriff. It's also about your city council members, everyone that's having a say so in your life. What happens every day with your life. And so Arpaio is going to be a big race, and we have amazing groups at the local level who are mobilizing the community. We were able to make a historical election a couple of years ago, kicking out the person who wrote it because Russell Pierce. And it was because people were so fed up with what he was doing with SB 1070, the anti-immigrant law that was written. And we knocked on so many doors. We got people out. Majority of them didn't even know who the other guy was that was running. They knew that they didn't want Russell Pierce, and I think right now it's a very similar situation where many of them might not even know who some zone is, but they know that Joe Arpaio is a wrong choice for them.
Right. So then, getting back to the enthusiasm question, because I've made the bold prediction that we're going to see historic numbers with Latinos. And I think you touched upon it at the beginning, and I want to see sort of the generational gap between, sort of, I would say, like the older Latino crowd that's kind of more the established Democrat, and people like you, and people that are out there that are younger. I mean, I'm the oldest one on this call, so I'll go with that. But the question I have has to do with
cool.
That's it. Okay, guys.
You're pretty cool.
But I mean, the Trump effect, holding people accountable, is the enthusiasm out there. We're going to see a historic turnout. I mean, is that too bold of a prediction? I mean, am I being too optimistic, or do you think it has been a politically engaging? You know, you being out there, have you seen people being more politically engaged? Have you seen a turning point? And are we gonna, are people gonna wake up on November 9th and be like, oh my God, like these Latinos, they're everywhere, and they voted, and he made it. He treated it. So I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we have to show our power, and again, right? Everything that has been said by Donald Trump. I mean, it started with Latinos. I mean, I remember the very first news that came out of Trump's mouth was mostly about Mexicans and the wall and Latinos, and it's everything that a lot of the things that he has said is against the communities, and we don't show that we can show up and defeat this guy in big numbers. It really shows perhaps that we don't have as much power as we claim to have, in the elections. And that's not good. I think we have to show in big numbers that, it's not okay for people like him to speak that way about us and let it go. We're going to show up and really defeat him. But also, I also think that we do have to address the fact that, there's been also polls, and I remember from this one back in the campaign that over and over again it showed that the younger generation of Latinos tend to be more progressive in many issues. We tend to go a little more left. And so, I also feel like after the election it's also a challenge and something that the Democratic Party then has to think about. How do they change a lot of the things that they're doing to appeal to people like myself, to people like others? I mean, I can't really vote, but I know that, someday it will, and I know that a lot of my friends are very disillusioned and disengaged because of what happened, in the primary, and they're going to have to figure out a way to gain the trust back and be able to really speak and act on the issues that we are, that we care about, given that we're a little bit more left than a lot of our own integration.
There's not a lot of Latinos with Trump, as much as people think that there are.
They just know how to be loud and annoying.
Well, the thing is, my theory, before we let you go, Erica, my theory about that is that, in the interest of trying to be, we have to have, balanced coverage, quote unquote, let's find these 2 or 3 loud voices who aren't representative of exactly the young voices that you say, Erica, who are like, if you really look at, Latinos registered, of the millions, of the 28 million, close to 50% are millennials, they're young, and of those, they're vastly progressive. So, the media kind of can be a little bit deceptive when it comes to Latino support for Trump. This was really good, Erica. We really appreciate your time. We got to get you back, after all this is done, so you can tell us all the wonky policy stuff that you guys are going to be doing once, after the election on November 9th. So,
we're going back to fight for issues again. Yay!
That's what we're talking about. Issues will be back, and I'm sure that immigration reform will be at the top of that, and I'm sure they're going to involved with that. So, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not, but we will watch that. Let's talk a little about that. Erika, gracias.
Thank you so much. Igualmente, gracias, Erika. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. She's amazing. I love Erika Andiola, even in real. Sharice, we actually got 2 phone calls while this was happening.
Yeah, really?
I don't know who these people are.
Okay.
Armando, I guess. We'll bring them on in a second or two, but I got a call from area code 407 and a call from area code 804. 407 is in Florida. 804 is we're going to try. Yeah, it's totally blind. So we're going to try the 804 and see what's up. Hey, you're on Latino Rebels Radio. Who's talking?
This is Julia Rican Girl, Julia Torres Vargas. How are you, Julio?
Hey, how are you, Julia? Do you have a comment? How are you doing?
I do. I wanted to call in tonight to tell you that the vice presidential candidate, Tim Kaine, is a friend of mine and a former political mentor. And I sort of wanted to alert the community to that in case anyone wanted insight about working with him, what he really represents, what he's all about. Because I know him really well. He's a good guy, and I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, you're a big supporter of Tim Kaine. He's told me that. He said that you've known him for a while. NC804 area code. Thanks for the show.
Yeah.
Did you see his speech in Spanish?
I did, and I don't know if that's the best thing for him to be doing. I know that our community gets annoyed every time he does that, so I think it is a bit pandering. But I think what I really wanted to speak to more, which is cultural intelligence level, which in my opinion is strongly connected with Latinos. I think that we're not making enough of the fact that he really did spend years in Honduras, and he's really attached to our Hispanic community. He's lived amongst us, he's eaten our food, he's decided to command our language, and isn't that an awesome opportunity for Hispanics in this election?
So yeah, we always love you when you call in. We're going to bring you back after the election. How's that?
All right, thanks a lot. Take care.
Okay, I would ask so. Okay. Sorry. We got one more. Area code 407 before we bring on Armando. Let's see. Hey, you're on Latino Rebels Radio with Chevy and Juanito. How are you? Going?
Hello, Bones.
Hey, Gloria.
Yeah.
You're perfect. What do you got?
Hey, listen, I just want to let you know I'm a boomer, and I'm kind of undecided, but more for Trump. His values are more like my values. But it's interesting, I always like to understand. I like to, kind of listen to both sides and see what's going on and see what the logic is. And my own daughter loves Hillary Clinton, and so, sometimes we have conversations about it. And like I said, I just, not sure I'm going to sway more towards Trump because of the abortion issue and because I am Catholic. But, however, I do think that Trump needs to apologize. I have seminary and I don't like what he's saying about my people. But if he wins and stuff, I'm going to be writing my congressman. I'm going to be writing him, tell him, he needs to treat us with respect. So, this is my first time being, doing this and everything. So, I think it's great. I love that, the Hispanic vote is getting attention. I wish the Republican Party would have done more. And they tried, but I don't know if for some reason Trump didn't listen to me, wants to do his own thing. So, that's just kind of my view. And just like Stephen Covey said, just to understand. And that's kind of a little bit what I'm finding out interesting, though. It was a good program.
Hey, Gloria, thank you so much for calling in, for listening, and we're going to continue the show, and we really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
2 live callers. 3. That's great. We are moving on up. We are moving up. It's so bad in the kitchen. Sorry, I just put that to my Jeffrey.
Wow.
Armando Carmona of National State Labor Organizing Network. We're bringing on an education guy. I'm actually going to turn it over to you and him because for 2 reasons. One, there's a very special event that Latino Rebels is going to be doing, and you're going to be moderating coming after the debate. So if you're a big presidential debate person, if you want to be a live Facebook event, it's a really exciting event that's going to happen on Wednesday, the 19th. Sharice's going to moderate it. I want you and Armando to talk about it. I'm going to sit back and listen to my Jeffersons. But also I want you guys to talk about the concert. I might jump in. I'll stay quiet, and then all of a sudden I'll be talking for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So anyway,
because you're never always quiet anyway.
I know. Armando Carmona of National State Labor Organizing Network. Welcome to Latino Rebels with Luis Cheney. How are you? Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey, Armando.
Hello. Sunny, the show is yours. The show is yours. Talk about what? So I'm going to put myself right now. Don't leave us. I was hoping to
Don't leave us.
talk to you too. No, I know. I'm here. I will jump in. Don't worry about it. I want you guys to talk. But
Armando, so tell us about the event that's going to be happening. You're going to be hosting like a viewing party and a panel, right? That on for the third presidential debate that Latino Rebels is going to be Facebook living from our site. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, congratulations on your 2 live college. That's really exciting news.
Mexican American Trump supporter. That calls it.
I know. Wow. That was actually kind of nice. Like, now we're for the recorder.
No, that's great. And so yeah, no, thanks. So my name is Armando for those on the air that don't know who I am. I work with the National Day Labor Organizing Network. We're a national organization.
You are now in the
network of over 50 worker centers around the country and immigrant rights organizations. And, we do work around labor rights, around quotation defense, and policy issues, and the popular education work that we do. And for the past couple months, we've been working on an op-ed series called Latino Rebels. And the idea is to work with some of our members on the ground, some of our folks who are day laborers or immigrants who participate in our work, and work with them to write and publish op-eds or editorials or letters to the editor. And it's been a really great and amazing project to really great opportunity to let folks share their own voice, right, and have a voice and share their words in a broader, with a broader audience. And yeah.
But this is like we're talking just their work in general, or throughout the course of their work with the organization.
Yeah, well, so it depends, right? Some folks.
Or just specific to the election.
Yeah, our work isn't so election focused. Obviously, has a big impact. The election has a big impact on our work. But we've been doing a lot of work around wage theft issues and around deportation defense. So, these folks have been writing, basically sharing their story in an editorial form. And for Wednesday, with the presidential debates, the very interesting presidential debates.
You're going to talk about that.
I know, right?
Go ahead. Yeah, no, they're focused around these people, with dozens of others that are speaking on their behalf, and we thought it'd be a great idea to get some of our folks together, some of the day laborers from the Littles, folks that are on the ground, folks, basically the people that these candidates are speaking about when they talk about immigrant workers and immigration in general, and give them a mic and allow them a space to share their thoughts and share their views on what's happening, not just reflect on the debate, but what's happening nationally, and what they hope to come, what they hope will happen in the next couple months.
What's great about this, I'm happy to be moderating this, and one of the reasons why I'm so excited about this, Armando, is exactly what you said, that these is who they're talking about, who these candidates are talking about, but yet we never hear them. You hear a lot of commentators, a lot of pundits on major networks that, are debating for their party. But you never really hear people from the community. You never hear directly who they're talking about, the voiceless. So I think that it's really great that we're going to be able to hear them, right? So basically, what is the event going to consist of? What's the breakdown? How's it going to look like?
So Wednesday here in Pasadena, in Southern California, the Pasadena Job Center. It's a workers center that works closely with day laborers and doing workshops. We know your rights, know your labor rights, handling their step cases. We're gonna host a viewing party so we can share in the wonderful experience of watching this debate.
Your sarcasm was really good.
I know.
I'm really glad. I just want to continue. We're very, very excited to watch this debate. We think it's a very productive time. We really want to watch it together. We can be able to comment on it together. enjoy that moment together. And afterwards, we're going to live stream a panel of folks to speak on, to like reflect on the debate and to share some of their thoughts.
Now, Armando, what are some issues that hit home with the work that you do and with what's happening in the presidential race? What do you see are some issues that are so important and crucial to the work that you do that aren't just even being talked about? Because obviously everyone's talking about policy, everyone's talking about Trump scandals. So put some light on what's really important and how these things can affect the people that you're organizing.
Well, for example, we work with day laborers, like I said before. One of the biggest issues is wage theft, right? Jornaleros that are, many of them often stand out in the corners at Home Depot. Oftentimes they're backed up by a worker center, but not all the time. And there was a study recently, an informal study, and that over almost 90% of day laborers have experienced some type of wage theft or denial of their wages, or refusal to their employer refuses to pay them, or threatens them, or tries to intimidate them, threatens to call the police on them. We've had several cases where the employer, who's just a regular person who hires them trying to do a job at their house, has claimed that the worker has been trying to rob them. They were at my house trying to rob us. They called the police on them, and obviously, in many of these cases, those lies get dispelled. But that puts folks in a very precarious, very, very vulnerable position, right? Where they're at the will of these employers and at the will of even institutions who, based on the national rhetoric, are not very friendly towards our folks.
And yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Sharice. I think even in terms of, you can say Republican candidates. I mean, it's totally cool. But in terms of, are you seeing? I guess the follow up, because it is an issue. You're right, Glacier. But the follow up I would have, before I turn it back to you, Sharice, what's going on now? I mean, I know that we published, Latino Rebels published a couple of op-eds from the Latino Rebels, but what are the stories that, I know you guys don't talk about it at the panel, but what are some of the stories that these day laborers are talking about right now? I mean, I'm assuming, and I'm not trying to generalize, but has fear pervaded into the community? Has this election made the day labor community more fearful of the future, or is that too big of an assumption?
No, definitely. I think there is a sense of fear because we often say that day laborers are at the front line of the immigration debate. Not just in words, but literally. They're out in the street. They're out in the sun. They're not in the shadow, right? There's no shade out in the corner of the Home Depot, and they're looking for work. So yeah, they're at the front line, and so there is a lot of issues, a lot of fear about what's to come. Well, one of the big cases we're working on right now is regarding a man from Long Beach, California. His name's Jose Abad. It's a big campaign, national campaign, under the hashtag of Bring Back Jose. He was picking up his son. He was on his way to pick up his son at a Krispy Kreme in Long Beach. His son was a student, and he got pulled over for a broken headlight. And as he got pulled over, the police officer ended up calling ICE official and ended up transferring him over to ICE as opposed to a simple warning or a fix-it ticket. He transferred him to ICE, and Jose was deported about 7 hours later. Right, because of
really?
He was deported about 7 hours later. Right? So there was no process, no chance. He had no chance. One of the biggest, he was a gardener from Long Beach. He's been here over 30 years. He had a hold, the deportation hold, because of a 21-year-old drug conviction, a nonviolent drug conviction that was on his record, and because of that, he was deemed a priority for deportation. This is really part of the priorities of the current administration, right?
Yeah. Felons not family.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, you said I talk about Republicans, but really we've had issues.
You can talk about Democrats too. It's all good.
We've had issues with both.
No, and that's a common theme. I think one of the things that the Democratic Party seems to not understand, at least the establishment of the Democratic Party, is that there's a huge disillusionment and disappointment with some of the policies, particularly immigration policies of the Obama administration. I don't think anyone's trying to, that's the elephant in the room that the Democratic Party does not want to come to terms with, and it seems like it kind of gets hidden away in Trump's rhetoric, right? So it's very easy to shine a light on Trump because it's so out there, but in Barack Obama's America, a man was pulled over, and 7 hours later, he was deported. And his son was with him, he said?
His son was with him, yeah. He was picking him up from work, they're working class family.
His son was with him, and within 7 hours, he was deported. So, if that's not a separation of family, I mean, I couldn't even think of, I don't even want to think about what's going through our families, what they're experiencing. But anyway, you're absolutely right. So I'm not trying to.
It's exactly that. The felons not families, right? This has been the narrative that's been really plaguing our rights communities for the past several years. Obama says we're going after felons, we're not going after family. But this case and many other cases show us that, well, if he's really about second chances, and if we're really about second chances, then that doesn't make sense, right? Because folks, this man, he made a mistake. He served some time. He got out. For 20 years, he was here with very little interaction with police. I think he got a couple parking tickets. And over 20 years, right? Six youth children, one of them's a veteran, and there is no possibility for a second chance, or for even a discussion about his entire record, right, or his himself. Right?
So one of my questions is, with the work that you do and with some of the campaign work that you do you feel that they're comparative? Because we all know that where Trump stands, right, with the wall, with deportations. I mean, one day he wants to deport 11 million, the other day, the next day he's kind of softening up. But we already kind of know where he stands. But with the Hillary campaign, it just seems like, at least the primary, in the states, there really hasn't been like a lot of discussion in terms of where she stands with any kind of like push for immigration reform. But with the insight with your insight, Armando, and the policy that you've been advocating for, do you feel that there is more room for improvement in terms of immigration reform compared to under the Obama administration, or do you feel that there won't be any change where things can actually worsen? What are some of your predictions around that in terms of the Democratic Party?
I think I think the immigrant rights community is a very difficult position right now because we're banking basically on Hillary Clinton's stand saying that, well, I'm not as racist as Trump. That's
right.
That's basically the campaign for us, like, and folks that care about immigration. It's very difficult because there hasn't been a clear outline, a clear proposal about how that's going to look like, how immigration reform would look like. She said that there's going to be a bill in the first 100 days, but there hasn't been a clear framework of what we would see. But
they'll say that that's the thing about, and you're right, there hasn't been a major immigration question asked in the first two presidential debates, although there was one asked in the vice presidential debate. I'm actually going to venture to guess, because this debate's on Fox News, the moderator is Chris Wallace at Fox News, that immigration is going to be front and center because it's like you're going to throw red meat to your Fox News audience. But the Hillary Clinton campaign would counter Armando and say, well, the plan's out there. She wants the pathway to citizenship.
all for, we can't separate families. I was for private prisons, but now I'm not. She's clarified her statement on the Central American migrant crisis. But what I'm hearing from you is that there's a lot of skepticism, and if this world didn't have a Trump, would there be a bigger light on the immigration policies and positions and a more of a demand and accountability for Hillary Clinton's campaign? And from what I'm hearing from you, you're saying, that if Trump were kind of, if there wasn't a Trump in the world right now, there'd be more of a substance discussion from the Latino community to be like, we need to, what do you need by this Secretary Clinton? Is that wrong to presume, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, no, I think that, Trump has taken the conversation to the right in the most extreme and vile, destructive way you can imagine. Yeah, that's no question. But, there are issues that aren't being discussed, right? Like, for example, in this case that we're working on, one of the biggest things is the collaboration between local police department and ICE. ICE is already the largest law enforcement agency in the country, and them wanting to have access to local police makes them even a much more powerful agency, right? And it leaves our communities in a very, very vulnerable position, because it's like, well, everybody is able to, when police are able to deport you, that's what's been happening in Arizona, right?
Right.
And that's an issue that has been discussed.
I know. And then ICE endorses Trump, right? So what does that mean? Why would he?
Well, it's the border. It's the border. It's the border. It's the ICE. Like the ICE.
Okay.
The border. Yeah. It's not the government agency of ICE. ICE can't endorse. Although but Donald Trump would tell you, right? Donald Trump would say, ICE endorsed me. Right? It's like, oh, the FBI endorsed me, or the Department of Justice endorsed me. Oh,
right. When it's another name.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so but you're right on that. I think a lot of people don't know that ICE is actually the largest law enforcement organization. I think even larger than the FBI, and they're like combined, and their budget is like there's a bigger budget. Like people they can't wrap their heads around that. Yeah, it's huge.
So Armando, these are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about on Wednesday after the debate. Now, in terms of the panelists, we're going to have 2 or 3 formaleros there, and then a couple of other activists there.
Yeah. We'll have some formaleros that have been active in several campaigns, right in LA and in Pasadena specifically. Day laborers were at the forefront of like the fight for 15, for example, and other very critical fights that had national resonance. They've been collaborating on Black Lives Matter and been taking on a lot of issues regarding police violence and fighting back against that locally. And so they'll be sharing some of those experiences. And then also we're going to have some folks that are activists and that have been working on these issues specifically around the country.
I will be watching. I'll be watching. Because I'm excited.
This is really excited again because we're going to have, I'm excited just for the community to speak for itself, right? Because we're just hearing all these pundits on CNN, and it's like, okay, well, what does our community really think or feel about this, and what kind of is it breeding a culture here? So, and aside from that, but also Armando, you were also at the Rise Up as One concert, right? I was talking to Julio about it earlier in the show, that you and I were at this really dope concert, right? So what did you think of it? Because
that was an excellent transition.
Thank you.
That was
and I really like how you just pointed that out.
It's going on right now. I love it.
Yes, it's the trauma. So Armando and I were having a really fun time, but we didn't know that we were both there. It wasn't until I saw Armando's social media post with the one celeb that I was not able to which was the actor Fernand. I was mixed up his name. Yeah. So you could please tell me about that picture. I really want to hear the details because I wasn't
I got to meet the young Che Guevara, man. I'm good. I have a good weekend.
But your organization was out there doing work, or what's that? Because we're trying to network with you both.
Yeah, so the Endelon National Day we're organizing there. We do a lot of art and culture works around the country, so we collaborate with artists and musicians for a number of events or projects. For example, Endelon collaborated with Cecilia to produce the video about their song Ice and Yellow. That Endelon participated in that. The other collaborations with Juanes, with Manu Chao, with Rage Against the Machine. There's been some really key moments and key events. We have this series called Chant Down the Wall, where we basically have a concert outside of a detention center or immigrant prison, as we refer to it now. And we basically serenade the folks that are inside detention, and we're there to express our solidarity and to let them know that they're not alone, right? There's people that are thinking about them and fighting for them. And so we were out at the...
Oh my God, that's so sweet. Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah. And a lot of these chants on the walls, what you call it, because we're trying to chant on the walls, are led by our house band, Jornaleros del Norte.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Jornaleros del Norte. They're really cool, really dope band. They just came out with their 4th CD, which will be released soon, so we'll keep you all updated for that. But they're yeah, no, for sure, it's really cool. It's basically a band. Oh no, go ahead.
Alright, so tell me what you were finishing up. Go ahead.
Yeah, the band is made up of daily but it formed after an ice raid at a Home Depot. So it has a very powerful story.
Wow.
Folks that are interested, check out the website. It's really
cool.
We definitely got to check it out.
Yeah, we love to. And then, so I'm glad that you were there. Me being SoCal local here, like, I've never really gone to a festival on the U.S.-Mexico border. It's you're already in Tijuana or you're in San Diego, but, like, this concert was, like, right by the border. It was, like, in this plot of land, and we had to take a bus, to a shuttle, right? To go.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of that? What was your impression?
It was amazing. It was really cool. It was a really great opportunity. Some very powerful issues, amazing artists that came by. We were backstage because we were working, obviously, and so I got to meet Rafael, I got to deal with Matt, I ran into René from Calle Julieta Venegas, and Rufio Rivera, and folks from Tigres del Norte. We had a good time backstage, but I didn't get to catch all the performances.
I don't even want to know when you got to do that. Armando Carmona, the next is Wednesday, Latino Rebels Facebook. It'll be after the debate. I'm going to be watching it after the debate on the East Coast, and I can't wait to see Sharice in the panel and to see what these voices, all these voices are going to be talking about the debate. Armando, thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward to the event. We really are. Thank you.
Yeah, we're all looking forward.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Yeah. All right, so Sharice, you're going to moderate this. This is all you. You're going to be like right there about Facebook Live.
Armando's very humble, so I'm co-moderating with him, but yes.
Okay. Very nice. So, I think the question, it'll be interesting if issues of immigration do come up, which I think they do. I mean, I think that's going to be a really interesting discussion, and I think you're right. Actually having people from the community weigh in, I think it's an important conversation. So again, it's going to be on Facebook Live, right? Someone will see it, it'll be on Latino Rebels Facebook page. And then once the video's done, it can be embedded and it'll be on LatinoRebels.com. I think it's a really, really important event. And I'm really glad that you're involved. So, still there.
Definitely.
SoCal, bro. You're totally back. You're totally back in California vibe.
I still miss New York, though. I have to admit, I still miss New York. So, but, I'm chilling right now in SoCal. It's my homeland. I'm a native here, you know? It's my home.
No, you are a native daughter of California. Anyway, a couple other things that you'd like to show, rate us on iTunes. Podcast will be on audio boom. Write and review us, get us more listeners. We have a couple of new shows to feature Latino media collectives. There's one about Venezuela that we're going to be posting later in the week, so catch that on your feed. And Christian comes back from Peru, and we got some other things happening. So we're gonna keep at this. Shetty, good how you doing? Great show, as always.
Yeah.
You have a wonderful week. We will do this again, Latino Rebels Radio. We are closing out with La Plebe en Venas Abiertas de Rebelde. Abrazo, Shetty. We'll talk soon.
Ciao.
Ciao. Here it is.